past denial, and I don't even think I went to acceptance after denial. I think I went into like guilty or guilt, not rather guilty. I think I went into guilt, and I think I stayed in anger for a while. And then I want to say this year is kind of the acceptance part. Because for a long time I wouldn't accept
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't even say that I'm there. I know I wanted them to be at peace. I wanted them to be free of any pain.
Yeah.
But accepting it, it was like I was so angry, not at anyone particularly, because I was really into my faith journey at that time when my mother got sick.
Yeah.
And because of that, it was like, God, what are you doing? Like, I
Yeah.
questioned him so
And that's
often.
okay.
Yeah, because it's like how? Why them? You
Like,
know what
I'm
I'm saying?
getting closer to you.
Yeah,
It's supposed
and
to be
this
a transactional
happens.
thing.
Exactly.
Like, we peoples now.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
So,
we good.
what's up?
Right,
You
exactly.
supposed to give me what I
I've
want.
accepted this into my life, and knowing of how important it was like, how could you do that? Like, I'm gaining, I'm wanting to grow closer to you. In a sense, I feel like I was growing closer only to go through this and feel even more closer to God. Because again, I don't know how I would have made it to this
Just,
moment, even right now, if I didn't accept him into my life.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely get it. If your faith, because I feel that same way too. Because a lot of times when I go through a lot of stuff, I just be like, if it's not for God, then I would probably, like you said earlier, I don't want to know that girl. I don't want to know her.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to know her
At all. At all.
because it's to the point to where you scare of what she can become, right? You're not, because you don't have any control over her, and that's probably why you don't want to know her.
Yeah.
So it's scary on what she can become and what she can do and the terror she can cause.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I'm like, nah.
Yeah. And that's why it was important for me to figure it out, check it however I possibly could, and like lean into those resources, lean into my family, lean into my friends, and let them know I'm not okay. So, and I think that's a big thing of even within our community. You will see somebody like, "How you doing?" Everybody be like, "I'm okay, I'm good." And I got to a certain point and be like, "No, today was heavy. No, in this moment, maybe right now I'm talking to you, I'm okay. Can't tell you 10, 20 minutes.
I like that you
from
said
there,
that.
like how I would be, but I think it's important for me now to be able to fully express myself and not hold that weight on me, because I think that's what it was in March, is that I had held it so tight because I was so scared that like I was like a steam pot and that shit blew up. You know what I'm saying? Because I was trying to contain it so much. And it is something therapeutic about releasing it. So therapy, venting, but not venting to the point where you're being always so negative, because I felt like that too, that it's like I didn't want to share because it felt like a dark cloud. I didn't want to seem like this super like
But
sad
sometimes
person.
you do have to like in stages, and I'm just not talking about just like in grief, but when we go through certain situations, like we said earlier, life be life, and everybody, and y'all know, y'all have seen me, I'm a goofy, I'm a laugh, I'm a kick a joke, I'm a do whatever. Class clown, don't play. But what I'm saying is that sometimes it's okay for you not to be okay, but it's okay to not show that joyful self. And I understand that sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. But guess what? That happens. Everybody, and quite honestly, and we know this, everybody is not happy all the time. Sometimes we're content. Let's just say that we can be content in sadness, content when things are not going our way. So that's a different type of emotion. But I'm not gonna be like not joyful. Just upbeat and bubbly. That's the word I'm looking for all the time, especially when life kicking my ass.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
no, seriously, I totally get that. It was just that I don't know. I was scared of myself, and I was scared of how far it could go, and because I knew that. And I am a mother, I'm a single parent, that I knew I had to be present for Cam. And this was another way of her motivating me to get it together and reminding me of like the love that my parents had for me, and they wouldn't have wanted me to be suffering like that. So therapy, you know what I'm saying?
Therapy, talking to others
that you trust. And I'm
trusted.
Yeah, very thankful that we both have such a trusted circle around us. village around us
Yeah.
that we could lean into those people
Yeah.
and extend it. I just want to promote, and this isn't sponsored by anyone, but Grief Share was amazing.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, you get a workbook. You can write through your issues pertaining to that particular
Like journaling.
week. Yeah, like journaling.
Remember we talked about, I had talked to Chloe about a couple of times about journaling, because I've been journaling forever. I kept a diary when I was like 10 years old. So yeah, so journaling does, it
It's
releases
therapeutic.
a lot. It releases a lot in you.
That paper to pencil.
Yeah, it has to be paper and pencil though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will journal a thought in my phone and notes, but it doesn't have the same effect.
Again,
with
the
paper and
energy
a
is
pencil.
like, it's there, it's in your mind, it's in your heart, and you are releasing it with every pencil or pen stroke. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you're getting that emotion out. So even when you don't have those people to talk to, you can at least get it out on paper, get those feelings out versus
Yeah.
holding them in.
Yeah, you don't want to hold them in. So yeah. So another thing that with grief, we talked about, you know, us being angry and denial, and then that guilt, like what could I have done more? I know I felt that same way, and I know you talked about that too. But the part where you have to, and I know we touched on this, but just like build and live and just have that new normal. Like I think that part is of course we know it's scary, but it can be overwhelming at times, because it's like I'm building a whole new life with a person that I thought was going to be with me the entire time. And a lot of times, and I'm a good for a schedule. Like I can, you know, veer and be flexible. But like I need you here and you here and you here. And when you take that portion out, it makes things, like I said, overwhelming, but it makes it like a seesaw kind of.
Yeah.
And then like you said, and
Ebbs and
I
flows.
made decisions that I know I shouldn't have made, impulsive decisions I've dated that I shouldn't have. I should have just left them.
Yes.
Like my granny used to say, let them at the door.
Yeah, for sure.
Because ain't have a pot to piss in on the window
To
to throw it out of, baby.
yeah.
I should have left, like my granny used to say, I should have left them at the door. But because, you know, we were hurting, you do make impulsive decisions, but you have to forgive yourself for those decisions.
Give yourself some grace.
Give yourself some grace.
My sister always says that.
Give
Even for like
yourself
every
some
time we
grace.
got on the phone or when we were about to end, she would remind me, give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Like, remember, this is a journey. You're going through this, and forgive yourself. It's okay.
Forgive yourself.
You're not perfect. You know, none of us are. You know what I'm saying? But when we lean into Him and get that strength, gain that peace, I think that's what's important. You know what I'm saying? That we can acknowledge His presence in our lives.
Exactly. Now acknowledge His presence. Know that God is always present.
Yeah,
and then
for
that's
sure.
that grace, peace, that peaceness. Because a lot of times, if you just release yourself, a lot of times, if you just release yourself and just release whatever you're trying to control, that's what I was trying to get out of, then He will give you like peace in a storm.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
and that's the
saying?
thing. Give it to Him. He says that. Give Him all of those worries, those doubts, those fears, and He will replace them with His love.
Yeah.
And I think that it was very hard for me to relinquish that because of my fear. I was scared of like what that would mean, or how do you even communicate to God that I'm angry, maybe at you, because it's like you created this storm for me, and it's like, what am I supposed to learn from this? But it's like, what if you never get this understanding? Because this is a part of life,
And you
what
need
will
to
you
have
do
peace
then? Yeah,
with that understanding.
Yeah,
You need
exactly.
to have peace and contentment. If you don't ever
if you ever get it, if you don't ever get it, so what will you do if you never get this understanding? You know what I'm saying?
Because you have to move on. You have
Yeah.
to be calm. You have to be, like you said, you have to continue to live for Cam. I got to continue to live for Mark.
Yeah.
So I can't turn around and be like bitter or be angry all the time
Resentful,
or
yeah.
resentful. That's the perfect word I was looking for, because I haven't dealt with this,
Yeah.
or I haven't made my peace with the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I know we didn't talk about this, but like sometimes